problem.
Photoshop?
So from here on out, this is the MMA Republic COVID diaries. If anything happens juicy from here, Rourke is in control of the show. So I do apologize.
Hold on.
And I'm going to take a sip of this is what I got to say about Marsa.
Man.
What is happening, my young friends? Oh, Rourke open straight up on his WhatsApp screen. Oh my gosh.
Yes, you rookie era. Rookie era.
What's happening, lads?
Okay.
Everybody's still alive. Everybody's still hanging in there.
Yeah,
Here we
alive,
go.
kicking.
Rourke, if you could maybe just like leave us talking before you share the screen for a while, so people can actually see us. That'd be cool. Like we'll come to this in a bit, if you don't mind.
How do I pull you up as the...
Just say stop screen share. That'd be cool.
So only start the screen share every time you want to show us something.
Okay, thank goodness, Rourke, because you can minimize like your screen. And sorry, guys, we're just teaching Rourke how to use Zoom. It's an interesting time.
His first rodeo.
Yeah. So what's happening, guys? How did you guys feel about missing the show?
Oh, I was fucking irritated today.
Thanks,
Looked like
Rourke.
it was a good event.
It was good, dude. It was cool to be in the PI. I mean, obviously you guys were there the last time. But it was cool to see how the machine operates from there, see what was going down. I enjoyed it. I had to spend the night with Justin Ferrier, which is always entertaining. Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was good fights. The prelims, I think, were I don't want to say too many negative things, but I think we knew they weren't going to be like the most electrifying prelims before they started. But some good fights. Obviously, my boy Rayo Sanchez came to shouted at me when he walked out the cage, which was pretty cool.
You? Upset?
No. He was like, I can't remember what he said, but because I had said like, yeah, I don't think it's a great fight for him, and I think he's probably going to get starched. And he was like, not a bad performance.
Well, I think we all said that.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. I was super stoked for him, man. That being said, and this is where it gets tricky. Sanchez absolutely did his job, did a great job. He showed a lot of character. He showed a lot of growth. He showed a lot of improvement. And I actually messaged him. I said, like him and his team should be super proud. They've put in the work after a long layoff to come back and face a guy like Roderick Kenner, dude, is that's a serious task. That being said, the momentum of that fight was definitely changed with a suspicious stand-up. No, I don't think he was taking much damage. I don't think there was too much happening, but I think it definitely shifted the momentum. I mean, to see a guy get stood up from half guard is super strange to me. But anyway, he did his job at the end of the day. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't the judges had the right score. I just feel like the ref made a weird decision. And the second time in 2 events that we've seen that. And I'm going to take another sip at that point.
I think a lot of the refs locally are very quick to stand the guys up from the grappling exchanges.
Inexperienced on the ground.
Well, inexperience, and also like maybe just like there's no value given to like what's actually happening in the groundwork. It's to know, like, to have top half guard is such a dominant position in MMA. You're in such a strong position for ground and pound. And like, you're just going to stand them up. I mean, just because the guys aren't like actively striking right there and then doesn't mean that there's no action, Often in those positions, it's like these small movements. They're trying to advance their position slightly, or trying to get a better position to start opening up for ground and pound or so forth. So I just think it's either a lack of understanding or a lack of respect for the actual ground portion of MMA.
Yeah. Do you think it would be a good idea for refs to have a like some sort of mandatory level in grappling to try and make that issue a little bit better? Because like you see lots of the UFC refs are black belts in jiu-jitsu, or they got some grappling background. Besides, obviously,
yes and no, dude. Like it's one of these. When we talk about that kind of thing, like we're going to go back to that sort of question where I think it was like Cub Swanson. He was like, MMA media should have 3 fights under their belt or whatever. And like, yeah, yes and no. Like you've got to put in the time to like assert your qualifications. And I think, to be fair, a lot of the guys here locally do put in the time, and a lot of them do have solid backgrounds. Funny enough, the guys with the solid backgrounds are the guys that are not generally tend to make less mistakes. I mean, it's not a mistake-free industry. Things are going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's, I don't know, man. Let's say, for example, a guy wants to be a ref for MMA. He comes up and he like spends his entire being focused on doing that job. We can't, and he puts all this work in. There's so many guys like that in the MMA industry, like nutritionists and guys that don't have the paper maybe to back it up, but they've definitely got the knowledge and the experience. Like, we can't say, oh, but I can't listen to this dude because he doesn't have a Bachelor of Science degree or whatever. He's dedicated himself to that craft. And I think we can't use it as an excuse to say, well, he needs to look, it'll definitely help. But I don't know if I agree with those things too much. If that being said, like, to a degree, if a person's constantly making mistakes, eventually we're gonna have to be like, look at Mario Yamasaki. You're like, listen.
And that
Mario,
guy's like a 5th degree black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. Be like,
So
listen,
it's like,
Mario, it's just not working out.
No, I agree with you. I don't think that these guys have to be world champion jiu-jitsu players and world champion strikers. I think they just have to have a decent like level of knowledge of grappling or jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, boxing. Like, it's so difficult because if you don't understand jiu-jitsu, like, a lot can be lost in watching that half guard position that they're in. It just looks like two inactive guys on the ground. But I mean, like, if you're in the top half guard position, there's a lot happening with like your connection to his lower body, your connection to his upper body. You're trying to make space. He's trying to close the gap. Like, he's trying to get an underhook. You're trying to counter it. Like, often people can't see that. It's like, but the ref should be knowledgeable enough to identify that these two are actually very active. It's just maybe not active in the sense where they're like striking.
Sure. What are the fights stuck out for you guys?
For the prelims?
In the prelims?
No, just in the card in general.
Obviously the main event, like, that was mental.
Yeah, dude.
The main event, as well as
Pico versus Souza.
The complete shutout from Elaine on Anisette. Like, I mean,
I don't know
which judge scored it 48-47, but that I obviously wasn't watching the fight. Like, I don't even know in what world you could think that Anisette won 2 rounds. Like, I
think the only round we felt that you could have given to Anisette was the third. I think it was the third, if I remember correct. It was like the second or the third was a round where it was spent.
It was the third. It was because, like,
it was
first and second was just wrestling, then the third, like, they started engaging a little bit in the striking. But then still, like, anything that really happened in that round still came from Elaine. It's like difficult.
Anisette held the center of the cage, but he didn't. There was no like pushing of the pace.
So there was quite a funny thing for me. There was a couple of things that stood out in that fight, and I don't know if it relayed on TV. If you could see, firstly, Anisette's corner by like halfway through the second round, and especially in the fourth round, like the grappling coach, I don't know who he is, because I mean, he was passing messages to Conrad. Conrad was just, I literally heard Conrad shouting at Anisette for a crossface when Elaine had his back. Like, it was, they were in complete despair. The grappling coach had his head on the canvas. He was just like, dude, it was so brilliantly done and executed, because they completely neglected the fact that Elaine can employ that tactic, a wrestling-based heavy game. And I said before it kicked off, I said to Justin, Justin's like, this is going to be like a crazy stand-up war. I'm like, dude, Elaine has got 5 submission victories on his name. He's like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, dude, there's a lot more to this dude than what people realize. And after a while, Anisette had this look on his face where he was just like, he would look on his corner, that kind of like straight off the double leg, and Elaine was kind of like hands around his back, like around his waist, like moving up. And Elaine, Anisette would just look at his corner and have like the smile on his face and kind of like, fuck, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, dude.
And the last thing you mentioned, Rourke, that he held the center, but it's like I don't think he held the center. And I was explaining to him and the new graphic dude at EFC, Dylan, I was like, watch what Elaine does. He has like this triangle sort of footwork where he'll cut one direction, move forward, press Elaine back, and then move back. If you go back and watch that fight, I reckon Elaine probably spent about 95% of that fight in his corner, using that same sort of pattern of footwork, pushing Anisette back, dragging him back into his corner. And every time he had a takedown, it was in his corner. It was brilliant. The ring craft of Elaine Ilunga was insane to watch, man. It was actually, once I like picked up what he was doing, it was a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah.
Well, even Gareth was saying over the commentary, over the stream, talking about how Anisette was holding the center, but he wasn't being active in it. So it didn't really make a difference that he was holding it or,
Sure.
Showing that cage control, because he wasn't actually doing anything with it.
Yeah. And, you also hear all these guys, they've been complaining, but we were expecting Elaine and Anisette to have this striking war. I was like, okay, but they've already done that. They did that in Sun City, like where they spent 3 rounds where Elaine pieced up Anisette, where it got to the point where it was difficult to watch, and now people see a different tactic from him, and now they're critical, saying, but all he did was wrestle. And it's like, okay, but this is MMA. There's grappling and there's striking, what Elaine has done is he's shown that he's a complete fighter. He's probably the most dangerous striker in the EFC, combined with a high level grappling game now. I think it's going to be super interesting to see how him and Joe Cummings, how that fight plays out, because Joe's also got like some tight Muay Thai background, and Joe used a grappling heavy game plan against Martin.
Yeah.
So we see how it'll be great to see how they both approach that unification bout.
I don't know if you guys saw me post that thing, because I was hearing so much of that. They were like, even Annie said like, he didn't want to stand and trade. And I think PT was alluding to it about his fight with Martin. He's like, I thought Martin was going to stand and bang with me. And I'm like, guys, like this is mixed martial arts. It's made up of a whole function of, to me, and for me, there's nothing better than watching guys using all of the tools, using ring craft, using takedowns, using feints, using setups, doing all of these things to like this whole stand and trade. Like, cool, maybe 10 years ago, it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, but there's a time and place for that. You know what I'm saying? But like, we have to start as fans as well, have to start appreciating all of these aspects of MMA, not just this, I want to see Oak stand and bang all the time,
But don't you find that often the guys that are saying this are the guys that aren't martial artists? Like if you have to go back to like the real root of martial arts, it's like self-preservation, right? So like no self-respecting martial artist is going to go out there and get into a fight where he's going to knowingly take an absolute beating. Like these guys that say, let's just throw it down in the middle. And it's like, no, but like that's not actually martial arts. That's just a street fight inside a controlled environment, right? Martial arts is about taking as little damage as possible while inflicting as much damage as possible. And if that comes through striking, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu, like that's the type of game plan that you're going to have to employ. So like with Elaine, he knew, obviously, I mean, I'm assuming here, but he obviously knew that the path to victory with the least amount of damage is to grapple Anisette. Anisette is dangerous in the striking. He might not be as good a striker as Elaine is, but Anisette, if he does land like one of those wild lead hooks or an uppercut against the cage or something like that, like it could put your lights out. So, I mean, Elaine did the sensible thing and employed a game plan that allowed him to get to the end of the fight with the least amount of damage while being the most dominant.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like, I think there was obviously a lot of emotion, funny enough, not really from Anisette. I mean, he was trying hard to create that. But I mean, I think we all know the Conrad sagas leading up to it and how that ended up. So why risk it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
100%.
credit. It's also like the thing that people don't say, and I think you alluded to there, is that you've got to give respect to Anisette. You know what I mean? He is dangerous, and he's got some power in his hands, and he can cause trouble. So there's no point in risking that in a title fight. You know what I mean? The guy who's gone 8 fights undefeated, he's got 8-fight winning streak. He's worked so hard to get there. Like, why risk it? Win the fight in like you say, with least resistance possible, and you've got the skill set to do it. Why not use it? You're like, oh, okay, cool. I've got this cool wrestling. I know I can win with it, but I'm actually just gonna throw all my chips in and I can see if I don't get knocked out.
100%. And I'm also shocked, but I mean, isn't that what Elaine did to Swerdovic?
Yeah, exactly.
He literally did the exact same thing to Swerdovic. I mean, but yeah, so I think I was awesome to watch Elaine do the shutout, and then Biko, geez, like it, dude. He had I was obviously rooting for him because I always, you always root for the South African against any international guy. But I mean, like, he really had me nervous in that first round. Like,
dude,
it looked like he just wasn't able to get the correct reads off Souza. Like it just felt like he was always just a little bit behind Souza in that first round.
Bit of a pace discrepancy, I reckon, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Souza came out, looked like on WhatsApp you can do that like ×1, ×2, ×3 on the voice notes.
Yeah.
It looked like he was on like ×2, and like Biko was still on ×1. Like it just looked like they were at different paces the whole way through the first round, and then something switched at the beginning of the second round where like Biko kind of like got to like even out the pace between the two of them, and he also started to like find his range better. With the takedown entries, with the striking and everything. So, I mean, once he got comfortable there, then it was all Biko from there on.
Yeah, dude, that was such a great fight. And I said to Graham, to be honest, that Gian Souza is don't leave us, boy.
No, I just muted you, so I didn't have to hear my runner cough there.
That Gian Souza was a great find, I think, dude. I think that dude coming back at, so I don't know if people picked it up, like they obviously didn't hit flyweight. Souza had a problem on the scales, and he called Graham. He's like, look, dude, I think it was probably like even 2 days before weigh-ins or like the day before, and he's like, dude, listen, there's no way we're gonna make this weight. They're trying everything. He's sitting still. I think he underestimated a few things, and like, credit to him, he made the call. He's like, look, dude, I'm not going to get there. And they agreed on a weight. I don't think it was much to Biko's benefit. I think he was quite far into his weight cut already, which is a bit cuck, but at least they made it happen. And credit to him and his team for agreeing and just going with it. But
I mean, like if they advise Biko and them like a day or so before the actual weigh-ins, like there's a lot of, like that's where like the majority of the weight comes off, is that last day. So I mean, Biko would have definitely had some advantage of not having to
going
cut
all the way. Yeah.
But then obviously at the disadvantage of your opponent's probably way heavier than you.
Yeah.
They can't even realistically get there.
From what I saw, the official weights were Biko was like in 127 and Souza was at like 130 at the weigh-in already. You know what I mean? So it was already like a bit of a discrepancy. But I think that Souza coming back at bantamweight, I think that's the right play, and I think he'll be a great addition there. And the good thing is they announced we're going to see Biko versus Zulu Boy. That's going to be for the flyweight title. I think that's a cracker.
Oh, nice!
Sick.
That's awesome.
So there were those.
When's that happening? In 3 weeks.
We're looking for a main event.
Justice, bro. We're scrambling for a main event at this stage, right?
Yeah, it's chaos, man. So from what they were saying, we're going to see Biko versus Zulu Boy for the flyweight title. We're going to see Tabani Mandabela versus Triple H Chikasa for the heavyweight title. There's talk of Martin van Staden versus Dedinho. What's his name? The Russia
in August.
Yeah, so there's big fights coming. The problem is the next card, because now they've lost their one half of the main event.
So let's talk about that quickly, right? So obviously Conrad gets cracked by Ricky backstage, is then ruled out of the fight. Then old Jose De Rocha says, cool, I'm looking for a welterweight fight. I'll stay in South Africa and I'll fight Luke at welterweight, which he was going to fight Conrad at. And then Luke declines and says he'd rather take Dino, who's already got a fight. And Dino's saying he didn't want that fight. He wants to fight PT. Is this like, do you feel like this is where the EFC needs to step in and be like, listen, this is the only fight. You either take the Jose De Rocha fight or you're off the card?
So I've got a couple opinions. So Dino didn't decline the fight. He's got terms and conditions. You know, Dino's kind of seeing it as he's coming to save that card, which I don't disagree with. But I don't know, man. I don't know if the EFC is in the position to say, okay, cool, we'll double your money. You know what I mean? I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I am, however, with you. We're talking about a main event. We're talking about a guy who's willing to give up another 3 weeks of his life away from his home. And you're saying, no, I don't know, man. The thing is, if you're like, those sort of demanding rights on your promotion are only reserved for the biggest names. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, you're coming off a loss. You want to get back into title contention. Here's an opportunity for you to really stick your hand up and say, bring whoever. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we want to see as fans. We don't want to see all of this picking and, okay, cool, I'll fight anybody, but yeah, not that dude. Yeah, it's a bit short notice for that dude. It's a bit, and you know, you're kind of like picking and choosing. If you were really the man, if you were the guy, if you were really 100% the guy, you would have, when they called you and said, listen, this is a situation, your response would have been, send me whoever. That being said, playing devil's advocate is, I do also understand, like, you want to be smart about your career. But I don't know, man. In the landscape of the EFC, if you're looking at welterweights and middleweights, there's not many guys available, and especially not many guys that are going to give you a main event slot, you know what I mean, on short notice.
Was Conrad Luke going to be at middleweight or welterweight?
Middleweight.
Yeah. Okay.
Conrad's not making welterweight ever again in his life, not even by a country mile. I don't even know when last he did it. So just on the Conrad thing, like, we obviously heard and saw a bit of commotion. I didn't get the full message of what had happened. I heard that he was injured. He was being tailed. When I say tailed, I mean tailed by a medical person who we all know, who refused to let him out of their sights, until he had finished cornering. And then from what I was told, he was put in an ambulance and sent for medical exam. But I mean, he was cornering, he was shouting, he seemed fine, he was going crazy in the corner, so he couldn't have been that badly hurt. But from what I understood, he was lights out. And I know Graham
said he was calling for a crossface while and the set was in your man. So obviously was very hurt, my man.
Yeah. So I know Graham said that he went and said congratulations to Ricky. I don't think you get KO'd for saying congratulations to someone, and I don't think we all know Conrad. I mean, I had a nice run in with old Conrad 24 hours before that, so I mean, I can't say I feel too sorry for him, if I'm honest. Like, it is what it is, dude. And that's what it is, bro. You're gonna talk that crazy talk to people all the time. Eventually, that was gonna happen, man. And to be honest, like, I know, I'm sure Ricky feels really bad. Maybe it's obviously caused a lot of problems. It's not great. It's not a great look. But that's the reality of what you're doing. You're going to carry on, like, getting in people's faces, shouting, screaming, carrying on like that. Eventually, those things are going to happen, man. You can't talk to everybody like that. You know what I mean? He did the same thing to me before. I just said to him, dude, I'm not intimidated. Like, you can say whatever you want to me. I don't give a shit. I'm not a fighter. I'm not going to say, let's fight in the ring. I'm just going to be like, cool, dude. I've said my piece like a man, and I came here to be a man. You want to carry on like that? Then so be it. That time is going to come for you. The bigger thing there, and the EFC are going to have to accept some responsibility in this, that they never cut that off. They never said to Conrad, you cannot carry on like this. How many times, dude? Every time that Oak is in front of anybody, there's a saga. And like, it's fine when you're ramping up fights and you're trying to get in people's heads like you did at the weigh-ins, but it causes problems and it causes conflict and it causes fighting, dude. That's what it does. You cannot talk to everybody like that. You cannot just accost people for no reason. And the EFC should have stepped in years ago, and they should have said, Conrad, we understand sometimes what you're trying to do and you're trying to rev people up and you want to get in their heads, but there's a limit, dude. You know, to be honest, when I thought about it, looking back at the Petey Coxon fight, when he was starting to drag in Petey's wife and stuff, I'm like, EFC should have said, listen, dude, like, we've got to draw the line here somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep carrying on like this. This is ridiculous now, you know? I mean, I just wanted to actually, before I forget, I just actually wanted to reiterate what went on with me and them. That fight was as good as off as the time I spoke about it. I have a pile of evidence about that. I don't have to release that. That's not who I am. I'm not trying to prove anything. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. The fact remained that that fight was 100%, it was off. That's the way it was going. They had changed posters. There was all sorts of things going on. It was a done deal until they figured it out, which was a few hours after I put that post out. The information changed. I changed. I updated. I apologized if there was any misinformation. And so it went on. A lot of people asked me what happened at the weigh-ins. I went up to Conrad to give my side and to say to him, you cannot call me a pig fucking liar and a racist because I said he withdrew. Maybe withdrew wasn't the right word. And especially after I've updated and apologized for that. And I mean, people that were at the PR, obviously it was a dog scene. It was absolutely crazy, man. He was shouting in my face, pointing his finger in my face, calling me a fucking racist. And it was too hectic, man. So like, I'm done with that. Like, I won't even greet him, whatever. But just from my point of view, the information was correct. I won't lie about something like that. They were trying to say that it was like an FFM bias and I was trying to make Elaine look good and him look bad. I'm like, well, they're both going to lose out on a fight that they've been desperately waiting for their entire career. So both folks are losing here. You know what I mean? This is the case. Both folks are losing here.
So this was my issue with everyone, right? Is that all these guys jumped on there and they were like, this is absolutely false. Like, he hasn't withdrawn. This is fake news, whatever. So everyone was like really like hung up on the fact that you had said withdrawn, right? Yeah. So instead of them saying withdrawn isn't the right word, he isn't medically cleared to fight, right? Instead of them like just not clearing up like the potential like miscommunication and like clearing out the semantics of the whole situation, right? Everyone was just saying, oh, it's fake news, this is a lie, which really like that rubbed me up the wrong way as well. And then like even to the point, and I know that he's apologized for, but even like when the guys from the EFC got onto that thread, like no one addressed the fact that maybe this 2% of the news was incorrect, the withdrawn part.
Yeah.
But the other 98% of the news was 100% accurate. That up until 2:30 on Thursday afternoon, there was no more fight happening. Right, that they were actively searching for a replacement for Anisette, and that to the point where internal groups from the organizer had notified the staff that this fight's not happening anymore. But then no one wants to like come and like tell the rest of the story. They just want to come and be like, he didn't withdraw. How can you say he withdrew? Yeah. This is unbelievable. And then like, but once again, like when you listen to the backstory, everyone's pandering to Conrad. Everyone doesn't want to upset Conrad. Because they're scared of what he's going to say.
Yeah, 100%. Just on that, dude. So obviously putting out those kind of posts, you do realize that there's going to be some kind of chaos or someone's going to be upset. My thought process in a full disclosure in that was like, I wasn't 100% aware of what sort of medical problem we were dealing with. When you hear a very vague story, say medically not cleared, it can be a list of things. Some of them can be very personal, some of them can be very drastic, some of them can be very hectic. So in my mind, the thought process was to actually not even mention, for the sake of like, in case it's something personal, not even mention medical things. You know what I'm saying? Because no one was saying, or no one was alluding to what was actually going on. It was all in the dark, like in a cupboard. You know, it was just like, if I said medically withdrawn, you're going to start to think, okay, does he have COVID? Does he have some other problems? Like, what's going on? And that could actually lead to bigger problems, So in my head, it was like, just to say he's withdrawn, news to come soon on what's actually going on, because that was how it would work. We would find out exactly as the details came out, and we would update people. The details came out that, okay, actually it's been fixed and he will be on, and that's what went on, dude. But fuck, dude, whatever.
No, but I mean, like, what I think people also don't understand is that the first time we heard about this was Monday morning.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like a knee-jerk reaction. Someone said, "Oh, Aniset's withdrawing," and then you went and you made a post. It was like,
100%.
we heard about it on Monday. When we heard about it, we went and checked the facts with a number of people, right? Then Tuesday came, we thought we were going to hear a media release by the EFC. Nothing happened. Wednesday came, we thought we were going to hear a media release. Nothing happened, right? And then I think it was when did you post it? On Friday? On Thursday?
Either Wednesday
on
or
Wednesday.
Thursday.
On Wednesday. You phoned me on Wednesday and you said to me, should I release this? And I said, dude, we've known about it for like 2.5 days now. Like, if you don't release it, then it's just going to be this random thing that he gets swapped out at the end of the week. Definitely release it. But people think like it was just like that you didn't, like, there was no journalistic integrity there, that you didn't go and ratify this information.
So it's like, oh, you didn't call me. I'm like, dude, I've never ever called you in my life.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And people are always like, oh, you can always just phone me and I'll tell you the truth. But it's like, no, you won't. Like, you literally won't. Dude. Like, you just blue tick me like most of the time. Like,
call me. I'll, like, Conrad was like, oh, did Aniset tell you? I'm like, dude, when would I ever speak to Aniset? Like, I'm just gonna, hey, Aniset, it's BigAl, dude, how's things? Cool, are you withdrawing from the fight? Obviously, he's gonna be like, fuck you, dude, and hang up. Like, what is he gonna say to me, dude? It's not how it works around here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but anyway, man, it was a all in all, it was a good event. The PR works really cool. I don't know what the broadcast looked like. It looked really cool inside.
Their prelims broadcast was the best they've had to date.
Yeah,
the live stream on YouTube was top notch.
Clear enough that we got to watching Guala Guala Death Squad and Kati Kati have that chaotic
part of the night, bro.
Oh man,
just windmill arms. That's what was going on.
Graham still put out the tweet. They're like, heavy windmilling here. I'm like, I don't know if we should be talking about this. I think we should just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It's like that redhead stepchild. Just let it go. It's okay.
Yeah, dude, that wasn't a great look, huh?
No, it was not at all. That was a desperate fight, dude. It was. And the funny thing is, like, and this is where we're getting, and like, because our fans are getting exposed to not only what high quality MMA looks like, what high quality prelim MMA looks like in form of the UFC. We've got the UFC guys are starting to watch Bellator. You know, COVID, actually, I was thinking about this, has pushed so many guys onto YouTube. So you're getting exposed to so much MMA right now for free, like you've never before. You've got Bellator prelims for free on YouTube. You've got one championship on YouTube. You've got Supersport is bringing you prelims on DSTV. You're seeing so much MMA. So guys are starting to get used to what high quality MMA looks like all the time. So
yeah,
your product is being scrutinized so much more. And then you not only put a fight like that so early in the card, and it's kind of opening up your freedom broadcast, your new broadcast, like you go. So what happened was there was internet problems at the PI for the weigh-ins. So they somehow managed to arrange the uplink, the same satellite uplink for the prelims that would do the main card. That's why the quality was so good. And then you open up with that. That's what everybody's been dying for. Get the prelims, get the prelims, get the prelims. And that's what you get. And nobody missed it, because my comments were going crazy when people were like, worst fight, terrible cuck, what is this? And I'm like, and I was saying to you guys, I'm like, I'm telling you guys now, having access to the prelims changes everything for the EFC. It gives you such a better look, such a better product. And then that happens and you're like, damn it, guys. We screwed up here.
Yeah. Look, did that Nkati guy have a big amateur career? Did he come in with some hype?
Yeah, not. I think half for those who knew him. I mean, a few guys from like KZN were saying to me, like this guy's really good. He was really good on the amateur scene, and I'm like, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
And what I was saying is like, for me personally, if I watch a guy coming up from an amateur scene, I don't know exactly what he looks like. I look at a few things like what's his 1-2 like, what's his jab left hook like, and what's a little bit of footwork. Straight off the bat, I don't know if it read on the TV, you could see like Elvis crossing his feet while he was stepping back. His 1-2, which looked good as an amateur, is completely gone. Now we're throwing spinning stuff and all of this crazy madness, dude. And I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It seems like that guy went 5-1 as an amateur.
Yeah. I saw that now as well. So he definitely came in with a bit of hype behind him.
For sure. Anyways, what did you guys think of the UFC?
Yo, it was a good card, dude.
Bro, another broken arm, dude.
Yeah, but I say, can we just talk about the amount of broken flipping bones that we've had over the last 7 weeks?
I like how you're
avoiding Jacare's arm.
I like how you're avoiding the Damian Maia subject.
Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. Jacare's arm, now Hill's arm, Weidman's leg. Like, we can just hang back on a couple of breaks for a while.
Please. This one was bad, eh?
Yeah.
This one was bad.
But I mean, but you could see there was there was deep ill intention there from Paul Craig. Did you watch that stare down that they had on Embedded?
Yeah.
I mean, that Hill was acting like a complete knob, and then Craig stood his ground and then just fucking dished it out to him, bro. Like,
dude.
I mean, Paul Craig's grappling for MMA is really, it's quite unique. He's like one of the only guys that pulls guard in MMA, but like he's super aggressive off his back, and it was really awesome to watch. I mean, barring the snap, it was really awesome to watch.
Look, this would be a very cool time for you to get us a something of this broken arm, like a picture, a video.
You told me not to put the live screen recording.
We said like only when you want to show us something cool. This would definitely be something cool.
I thought you were gonna say like, okay, cool, put the recording up.
Bro, like a broken arm now would be so sick, dude. It would be so sick.
Yes, Rourke really wants to be micromanaged, eh?
I was gonna say, oh God, it's gonna open up on his WhatsApp again.
And you know what's crazy is that I've been browsing, I've been opening the stuff on the side here, thinking, wait, they're gonna give me the queue, and then I'll just open up, and that's my time to shine.
Is that the best you got for us, bro? Dude, look at that arm.
Just
so the only time Rourke does a good job is when it has to do with spreading coronavirus.
It's the only thing he's good at sharing.
Jeez, okay. You can't share your screen, but you can share your deadly pandemic virus.
Bro, you missed a good picture there. The top left there, Rourke. That is just a face of absolute defeat, my man.
It was at that moment.
Look at that, dude. That is absolute. Look at that arm. It's like it's almost gone into atrophy immediately.
Well, did you see?
More importantly, can we talk about his tattoos, though?
Dude,
did you see like while the arm was broken and he was in Craig's guard, and then like he had no control over it, so it was just flopping like.
Yeah, that picture, Rourke. This one here. Look at that thing, dude. Look at that thing. Oh my.
Yeah, my good golly gosh.
That was so gnarly, dude. Oh my word. You know, that's like my son was sleeping. I even covered his eyes. I was like, oh, you don't want to see this, dude. This is badass, dude. This is badass. Oh, dude. Look, he's just sitting there like, what the fuck do you do with that, bro? That is a long time. You're off for a long time, dude. You're not coming back quickly from that. Look at that hip extension, Rourke. Sorry, go up, dude. Go up. There was one where like you can see Paul Craig's flat, that one there, the one you were just on, the flat out hip extension, bro. Yeah, there. Look at this, dude. Oh my.
You know what the thing is that the problem here isn't the actual bone; it's the ligaments and and like all the muscle tissue and that gets torn and damaged. Because the dislocation, like a dislocation's all right in terms of like the health of the bone, because the bone's just separating, it doesn't break. But like the recovery from all the ligaments and muscle tissue and all that gets torn is just. I think Misha Tate had a similar break against Ronda.
Ronda, yeah,
and she was out for like 9 months with that.
bro, that is so gnarly. Oh, here we go.
How's our boy Chris Weidman doing sparring the other day? 7 weeks post leg break, bro.
Dude, listen, I respect the hell out of it, but like, dude, look at Anderson Silva, buddy. Like, it's just you're just not going to be the same. Like, and you're going to get back in there with killers, bro. Like, call it a day, dude. Like, fuck, bro, I don't know, man. What do I know?
No, I agree with you, dude.
Look at that one on the left
there.
there. On the left there, down, Rock. Go down, and to the left. Yeah, this one there on your left where you're on. Up one. Oh, dude. Can you make that full screen? Oh, no, dude. No. How did we get onto this?
I actually saw this video. Oh, no.
Damn it. And this thing's in the way.
Oh, dude.
Ugh.
Oh, man.
Cage
That is gnarly. Like, should a ref stop at that point? Should a ref stop the fight? If you're
dude, I think it's a ref's responsibility to save the fighter from himself. You know, like Heel wasn't tapping, but I mean, he was obviously not going to be able to continue once the grappling exchange ended. No, Rourke, come now.
no, please don't do this.
That's Weidman's leg.
Is that his leg? Okay, this I want to see.
That's what it is.
I don't want to see this.
Okay, well, I don't know if now am I going or am I not going? What do you want from me?
I'm intrigued now. I want to see that.
No. You don't want to see that.
I want to see it.
Definitely don't want to see that.
Give us a full screen roll.
Worst broken faces over it. Do you remember Corey Hill's broken leg? He was the first guy to break his leg in the UFC.
This is the worst, the absolute worst website I've ever seen. There's not even one picture, bro.
Hard.
Yes, dude.
You got clickbaited.
And it's not even on the website. The picture doesn't exist.
What's the name of this website? 1-0 to those Oaks, dude.
Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report. That's like
1-0 to
legit
Bleacher
website.
Report, dude.
But I mean, what a con, right? It's like the worst breaks in history, and then you expect there's going to be like this list of photos of like all the worst breaks, and then it's just words. What?
The old doggo's joined the podcast. He's come to check on what's happening. Come on, come say hello. Come on, dude. He's camera shy.
I mean, just coming back to what you were saying. Like,
Oh God,
Anderson Silva was never the same again, right? It's like you have to look at like someone like Tyron Spong, like. He was probably one of the greatest kickboxers of our generation. But after he broke his leg, like that was the end of his kickboxing career. And I know people will say, oh, yeah, but that's kickboxing. There's lots of kicking involved. And like you'd understand that would be the end of the career. But it's like, you know, like he got medically cleared, but he couldn't get around it mentally. Like that he had broken his leg, kicking someone else's leg, you know?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, when he hit Goken Saki like that, I mean, like, once again, you see at the top of the fibula, I think it is, right? And it just,
full screen rock. Dude, the thing is like two things. Firstly, where is Gokan Saki? How come he hasn't been back in there? Is he injured?
He got cut.
Did he get cut? Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, he went 1 and 2 in the UFC, dude. I remember he came in 0 and 1 into the UFC. Then he went 1 and 2.
So he was a bit of an experiment that didn't really work out. Yeah, dude, like the thing is to psychologically go back, imagine having to throw that kick again, like in live competition, dude. Like, you know, like jiu-jitsu, let's say, for example, like my meniscus is torn. When I go back, I know I'm like kind of like tentative on a few things. I know where there's problems. Once the surgery is done, eventually you'll trust it. You know, like the worst is kind of over. If you snap your leg in half, dude, that's a completely different story, my man.
But that's always a game changer for professional athletes, right? I don't know if you followed soccer much like back when we were in high school and that. But I mean, like, I don't know if you remember a soccer player called Robert Perez from Arsenal. He broke the English Premier League record for the most assisted goals, and he broke it before Christmas time, which is halfway through the season.
And then he got that double leg, that's like slide tackle that snapped his leg.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he basically blew out his knee from that tackle, right? So he rehabbed it. When he got back, he like spent a season like on and off the pitch, like getting like a couple of games in, got loaned out to another club, and it basically was just the end of his career. Like he went from the highest points of his career, one bad injury, and he could just never get into it again because every time he was going to engage in one of those tackles, he was so scared of being injured again that he would back out every time, and it was a mental hurdle that he just couldn't get over.
Yeah, 100%.
Powerful jiu-jitsu tattoo there on Marino, hey?
Bro, what a gangster that kid is. What an absolute gangster, dude.
Bro.
But you know what's funny?
Talk about proving everybody wrong, bro.
Dude, and you know, like, did you hear what Dana said about it? He had like his quote was pretty hectic. He was like, I thought the rematch was gonna be completely different, you know, and I was wrong, but I was right. And I was like, dude, like even we were saying it, we were like, I think Figueiredo is gonna come and just blast right through him. Like it's not the Figueiredo we saw.
Yeah.
And Moreno was like, cool, hold my Mexican beer. Let me show you how this shit's done, dude. Dude, that was legitimately one of the greatest performances I've seen from someone in my life. He came out there, looked an absolute world beater, had everything. He was comfortable in his stand-up, engaged in the grappling, took his back, and smell you later, dude. Smell you later.
Dude,
My
do you
word.
not believe, like, watching all the embedded videos leading up to the event, and you see like Figueiredo after weighing in, like being brought to tears, right? Do you not believe that Figueiredo is at a point now where these weight cuts are like literally taking so much out of him, that like all credit to Brandon Moreno, right? He was the deserved winner of that fight, but like the strike that like dropped Figueiredo wasn't like the most vicious strike you've ever seen in your entire life. It was like a strong, he like popped him, and I mean it was like a strong jab, but I mean like you wouldn't have expected Figueiredo to be like so out of it from that shot, you know. And I just feel like he's at a point at the minute, he's obviously like added too much muscle mass now to continue making this weight category. And he's just struggling to keep up. I mean, like he missed weight for his first opportunity at the title. Then he finally did make it. He's had some great performances, but they've all been quick performances, barring the previous Marino fight, right? And then this one just looked terrible. I mean, he looked like a broken man after that weigh-in.
Yeah. Too much acai, bro.
Ah.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like
too much
he
of
was
that, of the supplements from Walid Ismail.
he was also a little bit overly emotional. I think like he was trying to make it like this bad blood fight between him and Moreno. I'm like, who hates Brandon Moreno, dude? How could you hate that dude?
Right?
Dude, the Oak literally has a room full of Funko Pops, dude. Like, how are you gonna get cross with a guy like that?
That was brilliant, bro.
You know what I mean? Brilliant. Like, and he's like, do you take them out of the box? Never. I'm like, how do you hate that guy, bro? The guy's literally got a Funko Pop room. What are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do?
100%, dude.
What a gangster.
And you know, like even like his personality that was like portrayed in the Ultimate Fighter, like, you know, like you felt bad for the guy that he wasn't like doing well. You know, you wanted him to kind of do well because, you know, like it just seemed like he didn't get the best chances in life. But for sure, he's getting his own Funko Pop.
I was gonna say, dude, if like, did you see what they were saying? Like, I love these pictures. They're like, good luck telling your friends that don't watch MMA that this is one of the baddest men on earth. What a gangster, bro. Dude! What a gangster!
How epic's that Batman car in the background there, bro?
It's so sick. If only we could see it again. That'd be cool. Dude, the thing is so sick.
Yes, bro. Oh, look at from the Batman movie. Have you seen the Lego Batman movie? He's got the Lego Batman aircraft.
Has anyone else noticed the massive surge in like fully functional nerds in MMA? It's the greatest thing ever. Dude. It's the best thing ever. Nerd assassins. It's great.
Dude, did you ever? I mean, you guys remember Jens Pulver?
Yeah.
You know that Oak's MMA career like a big portion of the reason that there was such a massive decline in his MMA career was because he was addicted to World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and that he spent like 9 to 10 hours a day just jamming World of Warcraft, dude.
Epic.
Can you
Bro,
imagine, like,
I heard a crazy story. I don't know if I'm supposed to share it though.
just share it?
I wonder. There, I'm trying to think of the dude's name. He's
So we pause
currently.
the share, yeah.
No, I'm gonna need you to search something. What is the dude's name? Just pull up Gordon Rutman's career. Not his career, his fights. I just want to see something here. Warren, you okay, boy?
Yeah, my wife just made me a cup of coffee, and
Gangster.
it was the hottest cup of coffee I've ever drank in my entire life. I literally just burnt my mouth. Like, I didn't have the symptoms of like no
Karen
taste or
Davies.
smell,
Okay.
but now I definitely don't have any taste.
Oh, flip! I think I know where this is going.
Now you've got no feeling in your mouth.
Yeah.
Where's it going,
Okay,
boy?
now I'm getting interested. Like, what are we talking about Karen Davies for?
Let's yeah. No, not. Bro,
Okay,
I'm
go
so
ahead, Karen,
scared.
what's your
I'm
story?
so scared to butcher this, bro, because it's quite hectic, bro. So apparently,
Okay,
Karen,
maybe leave it then.
So apparently, Karen. No, I'm just gonna say what's happening. I don't actually can't remember why. To be honest, I don't really know why. Or it might. Apparently, he's in jail. This is what I was told.
For?
I honestly, like, I'm legitimately trying to remember why, but I think he's in jail. Like he left the country and came home, and it kind of went. It was an old, long ago kind of thing, and came back and they arrested him when he entered the country and sitting in jail. He might be out now, but he was definitely serving some time. Like, I mean, how long ago did he fight?
Wasn't his last fight?
So I hope I'm getting. Yeah, I think it was. I'm hoping I'm getting the person right, but I'm pretty sure I am, because he's from Durban, eh? Karen Davies, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Durban. Moved to Johannesburg for trained and fought out of Fight for Militia for a while, and then
He was supposed to fight Patrick Luindula. So 2015, yeah, dude. I think he did a little stint, but I for the life of me, I can't remember what the whole deal was. But it was something like he had actually left the country and came back, and this thing kind of resurfaced and spent a bit of time in the.
Yes, that must be so cuck.
Dude,
Like,
cheapers, bro.
as you re-enter the country, you know, like, you get caught. I was watching a documentary yesterday about those couch punches. You know, like Paul Vaca got hit with that couch punch and then like passed away, and they were talking about like in Australia,
I
it's
reckon
like
you
quite a
can
severe.
stop that screen, Rock. Sorry, dude. Yeah.
It's like quite a severe punishment in Australia for these coward punches. And there was this Kiwi guy that like coward punched some oak. And then the Minister of Home Affairs got like this whole news team, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, got this whole news team, all these police officers, made this whole big thing. They all just came to his house to deport him, bro, on national television. I was like, this is amazing. This is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, dude. There's because I still remember telling you, I was like, that's like one of my biggest fears is like you get into like a bar fight or something and something goes wrong. That's why I just avoid that shit.
Well, you remember Jeremy Stevens almost had a jail stint for a bar fight, dude.
Yeah.
And the moment the Oaks find out that these Oaks are professional fighters, they go straight after them.
Yeah, what about my boy? What's his name? Crazy dude in the UFC. I can't think of his name now. Man.
Diego Sanchez.
No. The dude who cut his foot. Remember watching his video? Drawing a heavy blank.
He cut his foot.
Remember, man. He just had a kid. His chick was in his corner.
Oh, Mike Perry.
Yeah, Mike Perry. Remember Mark Perry punching the old man at the bar or whatever
Yeah,
went
dude.
on there.
Or what about Connor punching the old man at the bar?
But Connor's like a billionaire, so those things kind of always tend to go away. So
Yeah, dude. Well, if you only have 50,000 like suing you, like you can't exactly make it go away.
Yeah,
But if you
no,
got a couple
exactly.
of billion, you can just drop him a million, and then your
Yeah.
life's the same. His life's way better.
Start following Connor around in hopes that he punches you.
Yeah,
Is this
dude,
the Mark
just,
Perry video?
Just keep talking shit.
Yeah.
Is it? Can we get volume? Do you think it'll work?
No, it's not connected.
So that's unacceptable, Rock. Shit. Do.
Is he fighting with his chick or?
That's what I always wondered, because that looks like her, hey? But it might not be. And the poor old man.
Knocks older man out. Okay.
Isn't he also like using the N word a lot? Way to go, Rock.
Oh, dude, what's happening here?
Don't drink alcohol, kids. Stay off the alcohol.
Oh, those. Cheers.
Oh, but that old oak as well comes charging forward like he's going to be some superhero,
Yeah.
and then gets slept.
Only takes one punch, bro. Righty, lads. We've got Zakir Badat coming up this weekend. UAE Warriors. That's going to be juicy. He's fighting.
Do you know much about his opponent?
Kickboxer. He's like a wushu champion.
Oh yeah, I remember we spoke
One,
about
I think he's 1-0 as a pro, like similar sort of records. Should be good. He looks like a long, sort of rangy kind of guy. You got two complete opposites, which is always exciting. I think it'll be good though, dude. I think it'll be good. Looks like the Badat brothers have been living the dream there in Jordan, riding on horses and doing all sorts of things. Also, Dan Ige versus Korean Zombie, which is going to be fire, I reckon. Let's have a look at that card quick.
Ige gets that done quickly, dude.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at
Dan
that card.
Ige is so good, bro. He's so good. He's so underrated, bro. And Korean Zombie's never been the same since he came back from military service. Dude.
Yeah. For sure. Hit us with that card, boy, when you got a chance. Let me see that mug, dude. What you got there? Just a standard old
little bear mug.
Hell yes. Rook, I've got this mug. What mug have you got, dude?
That's your master mug,
yeah, I call this
so
the master.
You see what Rourke's showing you, right? That's what I give Rourke as a present. What does he give me? And on my birthday, he gives it to me.
Unreal, Rourke. Unreal.
What did you do for your birthday? I just got told I got corona and have to go into isolation.
Got quarantined.
That's like. Okay.
Can we see this card? If you don't mind. How, bro? Prelims on a card like this are gonna be. Oh yeah, this card's already.
Mr. Old Ezekiel choke.
Alexei Olenek.
They need to check his opponent for prison like shivs before he gets in there.
That's the dude. That's the dude who beat the brakes off of Jared Vanderhaar.
You need to check his gloves like a lot. Like this is the guys I cannot bring my own gloves. No, you can't.
Bro, Alexei Olenek is dropping. He's just rocking the old man dad bod, bro, and he just owns it. He's like he's like record.
59, 15 and 1.
Boy's been doing it for a hot minute, my man. He's like the heavyweight version of Ben Askren, bro.
Yeah, dude. But he also is so hot and cold, bro.
See the rest of the card?
Like sometimes I don't know, can't get it together, and other times you're like, what the heck, bro?
Ooh,
Tim Means, I love that. Tim Means Danny Roberts a good fight, bro.
Listen, I'll give you this one for free. Marlon Vera versus Davey Grant is going to be an absolute madness.
Davey Grant's one of those guys. Like why doesn't he fight more often, dude? Like
he fought
fights
recently,
like once every 5 years. I know, but then when before then?
Yeah, it's true. Who did he beat last? Go down, Rock. It should come up there. No. Just keep going down. Or just carry on. It's all good. They normally have it here, dude. Okay, never mind. Go where you were going.
Oh, if you scroll down too far to start with it, there you go. He's
Jonathan
fought
Martinez.
3 times in the last 2 years.
No, you're right. You're right. But I
Jonathan
mean,
Martinez.
he won the Ultimate Fighter. Well, he
No, second.
came
He lost
second
to
in the
Chris
Ultimate
Ellsworth.
Fighter in 2013. Then 3-year layoff. Then 2 fights and 2-year layoff.
He beat Marlon Vera. And now, yeah.
So,
Now he's
yeah.
fighting him again.
Oof.
Be a great fight,
Okay.
dude. And just let's close off UFC 264, the next pay-per-view. That's going to have Drickus on, and then we're going to be the week after is done, eh? Or was it the week before?
Yep.
The week after.
Week after.
So we're getting close. That next pay-per-view is going to be.
264 is.
Look at this
Oof.
card, dude. Holy mackerel. Poirier McGregor, Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson, Tai Tuivasa, Greg Hardy, Irene Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya, Sean O'Malley versus Louis Smolka. Thins out, eh? Definitely thins out.
Preliminary card though.
Oh,
Condit Griffin.
Carlos
My
Condit.
boy Carlos. Nico Price versus Michel Pereira. First team all chaos. Sean Brady
Kevin
versus
Lee.
Kevin Lee. How is that on the prelims, dude?
Yeah, because Kevin Lee is riding like a couple of losses now, isn't he?
Sean Brady's a real deal, man. Dude is a killer. And then Trevin Giles and the mighty Draikus Duplessis. Ryan Hall,
Ryan
Ilya
Hall
Topuria.
versus Ilya Topuria.
That's a
Oh my
cracker, dude.
goodness.
That's a
And
cracker.
we're only like a couple of fights separated from when old Steven fought Ilya Topuria.
Yeah. And
Jennifer Maia, Jessica.
credit to Slippery Steve. He was in that fight for a long time, dude.
I
think
reckon Hall gets that done in the.
Yeah, it's a cracking fight.
I
Sweet
see
boys.
Hall was training at Lucas Lepre for that fight.
I won't fight Ryan Hall ever.
No, dude. No.
Funny kicks and then takes your legs. Not for me.
Yeah.
He's one of those nerd assassins you were talking about.
Bro, he's the leader of the nerd assassins. He's like, look at him, bro. Look at him.
He doesn't even give a shit, dude.
No, he's amazing.
And he's got like some like legit kicks now, dude. Have you seen him land that hook kick?
Yeah, dude. It's mental.
Like no one's throwing no hook kick in MMA. He's landing it like no problem.
He throws like 5,000 leg kicks and then an Imanari roll and takes your leg.
Yeah, dude. It's
Beating the
madness.
goat.
Yeah.
What about how can we talk about Nate Diaz actually deserving the next title shots in the welterweight?
Oh, dude, I was so angry with Leon
Listen, bro.
Edwards for that last minute.
Listen, bro.
Yeah, he needed to shut that guy out, and then he just had to. All he had to do was lose for about a minute, and everybody's like, "Okay, cool, Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, number one contender."
You know how we were saying, people are going to be saying X, Y, Z. I legitimately had comments. I'm like, if only he had pulled the trigger earlier. I'm like, dude, like, what are you talking about?
He was trying to pull the trigger. But one criticism, like I actually think Diaz could have finished that fight, right?
If he hadn't stopped and pointed his finger at him.
Yeah, if he hadn't stopped and pointed at him and gave him an opportunity to kind of get back into the fight. Like if he had, when he landed that shot, if he like followed up instantly, there's a good chance he could have TKO'd Edwards. But instead he wanted to like be this badass dude pointing and laughing. Meanwhile, you just had your ass beaten for like 24 minutes. You win the last minute. Yeah, dude, don't get me started.
I reckon Diaz gets the title
What's more
shot.
important, winning or showboating? What's more important, winning or showboating?
Winning the fight or winning the fans, bro. Which is more important?
Yeah, exactly. I think you have to weigh up your options.
Well, he didn't even care that he lost, dude. He like literally didn't care that he lost.
Like, would you rather have the W or would you rather have a photo like this? Look at this.
What's even more intriguing to me is go. Let's go see the earnings, Rourke, because I don't even think he got paid that much, dude. Which is crazy.
No, he's getting that secret Dana White check.
Yeah, the bottom of the hand money, that casino money, boy.
Yeah, dude.
That Red Rock money.
The
Do you
money
reckon
that they don't want the commission seeing?
Do you reckon they like give it to you, or they're like, yo, you've got to go to the Red Rock floor. You're looking for slot number 79. Pull the arm 3 times, and then boom, you get
And
paid.
there you go.
Just joking.
Yes, I
Red
still
Rock.
can't see that.
Wow.
Hold on. Give me a sec. Sorry, it's not great, but there you go.
Okay, we'll figure it out. There's
So
Nate
Izzy,
Diaz.
$750,000,
Oh, whoa.
and then he gets about 600. He gets about 600 in pay-per-view. Yes, Figueiredo actually got decent on the pay-per-view, eh?
So Diaz
No,
got one.
1.3 million for 1.3 million for Israel. That's not bad.
Diaz got 1.1 million, eh? Am I reading that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they're
Yeah,
estimating.
1.121 million.
So
because he gets 600 from the
pay-per-views.
pay-per-view.
They're estimating though, eh? That's a pay-per-view payout estimate. See if we can
Yeah.
see the pay-per-view,
Yeah,
the numbers, the pay-per-view sales.
Well, they're saying that's based on 600,000 bars. He's getting $1 per bar.
I think it would do 600,000.
I thought it would do more than 600,000.
No, I'm
I
saying,
thought
but
it would
yeah,
at
that's what I'm
least
saying.
750.
Yeah, the top one, bro. Radio stop review, file updates, report. This 262, dude. Oh, 263.
I just had one now. Hold on.
262.
At least 300,000 domestic pay-per-view
Yeah,
bars.
that's 262 though.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry. Okay, here you go.
I think this is exactly where we were. We're probably a few hours too early, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you'll do 600 though.
Yeah.
Adesanya. I don't know about Vittori though. Maybe not the right guy to like sell the big numbers.
That fight was a bit peculiar though.
It was interesting, yeah.
It like you'd imagine that Israel was just trying to get back to winning ways, and yeah, it wasn't
Nervy. He seemed a bit nervy for the win.
It's not one of those fights that you're ever gonna remember in like a year or two's time.
No. Did you see Marvin Vittori afterwards still saying that he thinks he won the fight again?
Oh my goodness. Like what fight were you in, dude? Like you obviously weren't reading this fight correctly.
I just think that's just who he is, to be honest. I think that's just the way he is. But now we're gonna see Izzy versus Whittaker 2. If he wins, then what, dude?
Well, I'm sure that gives him a little bit of time to.
Okay, he did. He actually admitted defeat, but the scoring was wrong. I love this guy.
Yeah, dude.
This poor dude was just like a non-stop meme the whole week, bro.
Was the pants on backwards thing like real, or was that
Dude,
just like?
I don't know. But there was definitely. I think it was embedded. Maybe we could probably go back and check if you wanted to. I remember seeing him somewhere in the week, like embedded, and I still remember, like, yes, those pants look weird. Maybe like they're size too small or something. I definitely noticed it. I'm not too sure. Like maybe my mind's like playing tricks on me, but I remember watching. I'm sure it wasn't embedded. It's probably the one where they like show them doing these photos on the embedded, and I was like, yes, those pants don't look right, dude. But like something weird's going on there. This is by far one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and it's like, and you can like see his face. He's like, he's not sure about it. But what I will say is, in the fight with Izzy, he's bald, and yeah, he's got a bit of hair. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, you got a little shave before the fight. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. But I legitimately remember watching one of the embeddeds and be like, yes, something weird going on with those shorts.
yeah, dude.
Bro, how bad, bro? It doesn't matter how thick your skin is. That's gonna get you, dude.
Yes,
Check Brandon Moreno. What a gangster.
Dude, how epic was Izzy's walkout though?
Dude, you're the first person who came to mind. I'm like, Warren's loving this shit right now.
Oh fuck! I love a good walkout, and especially if you're gonna like do one of these like Mortal Kombat-esque style walkouts.
Lord Raiden.
I can't wait for him to go back to Australia. I want to see some more dancing.
Yeah, dude. If he fights Whittaker in New Zealand or Australia, it's gonna be mental, dude. If they can sell out like a stadium or something, it's gonna be gangster.
Dude, this oak's fast becoming like, like the Conor factor's almost over, right? Conor's almost out of the picture, but this oak will he's fast becoming the biggest star in the UFC.
Yeah, undoubtedly, dude.
and he backs it up consistently, bro. Like
The only other pay-per-view pusher I think that will beat Adesanya right now is honestly, I believe Colby versus Usman 2, and obviously Jones versus Ngannou. Other than that, you're not beating Adesanya in pay-per-view buys, bro.
yeah.
Alrighty, lads. Hopefully we
Right,
can
my
be
China.
back in studio soon, provided that
My
Rourke,
quarantine ends on Sunday night, so we can do Monday possibly.
provided that Rourke takes his a bit more seriously as well. No, I'm joking, Rourke.
Provided that Rourke doesn't spread any more coronavirus issues around the country.
You always make my life hard. Do you know how many people thought I was in a car accident last week? Honestly, I got
Well, you were, bro. You drove into a pillar. That means you were in a car
literally,
accident.
and you know
I'll
what he
take a
does,
picture.
dude?
I'll take a picture of my car. It literally isn't even there anymore.
Dude, you know what he does? He gets out the car and he's like, he gets to the bump and he goes, "Oh, nothing there." So I go, "Dude, there's a thing about this big of luminous green paint on the side of your car, dude. Like, how can you not see that?" He goes, "Oh no, don't worry. Tanner scratched that part already, so this is just on top of Tanner's."
I just wanna. I get.
Do you know that I literally got like 15 messages asking if I was alright and how bad my car accident was.
I just wanna state, because I know there's gonna be COVID idiots on here that are gonna be like, well, how come BigAl was moving around? I saw these fellas on Monday. Warren came into contact with his wife on Tuesday night, and that's where the COVID started. So I missed it by 24 hours before you started harassing me.
Yeah, and they only got a positive test result on Thursday night. And Rourke and myself, the diligent individuals we are, went immediately on Friday, on my birthday,
Thanks, Rourke.
to go get COVID tests. Or Rourke got an antibody test and I got an antibody test. I didn't have antibodies, so then I went and got a normal test and found out I had corona. And yeah, that was the best birthday present ever. Thanks, Rourke.
For all the COVID idiots, we are very diligent with making sure we don't have. Except that the last test told me I was negative, and then my antibody test said that I have had it. So, I don't know
He
how
said he
much
was
we can
negative, and then he had like the worst sickness ever for like 10 days, and then his antibody thing came back and said he's had it. So
That's not your fault, though, bro. Just so you know, don't beat yourself up about it.
I mean, he almost killed his father. So I mean, like, yeah.
Whoa.
People are gonna think that you're being serious, Warren. I can take.
I think we better get out of here. I think we better get out of here.
The next guest on this podcast is my dad to show you how healthy.
Yeah, get him on.
Rourke, do you want to go get him right now? Do you want to go get him right now? Let him come talk to everybody.
Rourke,
Hey?
what
Okay,
you
he's
need
got
is-
a bit of a.
We need a proof of life. Go fetch him.
He literally had to go get chest X-rays and like. Yeah.
No, that's to get your
Rourke,
own. So
call your dad.
if you do
I want to
actually
see
test,
him.
if you do get, he's quarantined right now. If you do test positive, I literally haven't seen him in like 2 days. He's quarantined. If you do test positive, in order to get your medication, you have to get your X-ray apparently from wherever it is. Then you have to go get you have to get an oxygen meter to measure your blood, and you can't really go into places that aren't prepared for it. Otherwise, you can infect people. So you have to buy an oxygen meter to test your oxygen levels. Only then can you be prescribed the right medication. So
Or you
it
could
was a
just buy it on the
last-minute
black
stuff.
market. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
Sweet boys.
Yeah.
Chat to you soon. Get
Stop
better.
it.
Stay safe out there, people. It is definitely running rampant. We're not trying to make light of the COVID situation.
No,
just
dude, it's
just Rourke. Just giving Rourke a hard time. Stay safe. Stay indoors and wash your hands, you animals. Chat to you soon.